there's going to be so many changes in the Cataclysm pre-patch. All the zones in between level 1 to 60 is going to look a lot different because of Deathwing. Because of this, there's also going to be introduced a lot of new quests, and therefore the leveling experience will also be a lot different in this level range. 2 new races will also be playable, Goblin for Horde and Worgen for Alliance, and on top of this many new class race combinations. All of them can be seen right here, even marked with a Cataclysm icon to illustrate what will be possible to create in the pre-patch. What you will most likely also meet in Azeroth is going to be Deathwing. He'll be flying around and breathing fire all over the place. If so, and if you're going to be hit, you'll be getting an achievement, Stood in the Fire, and of course be instantly killed. Leveling is also going to be a lot different. At low level, you'll now start unlocking important abilities way earlier compared to Wrath of the Lich King, for example Cat Form at level 8. It also feels like I'm doing way more damage, and this character doesn't even have any heirloom items. And when you reach level 10, you can start spending points into the new talent system. It's a bit different compared to Wrath of the Lich King. When you choose a specialization, you will be gaining a lot of additional abilities, and on top of this you need to continue spending points into talent tree all the way down to the bottom before you can start spending points into the other trees. In addition to this, when you level up you won't be gaining a talent point every time. No, as you see right here, I'm currently level 11, and the next time I unlock a new talent point is going to be at level 13. What I also like quite a lot is that you're going to unlock many important abilities at low level. We're not talking about when you reach level 40, 50 or 60, no, even before you reach level 30 you will have many important spells. On top of this there will be many other things that will make the leveling experience a lot different, and those I'll cover in a moment. But first I would also like to point out that you can pre-order a leveling guide for the pre-patch and also for Cataclysm, so you can level up quickly. You can even try out the free version that works all the way up to 30, simply just to see if you like the add-on or not. You can find the link to this guide in the description below this video. Anyway, onto more things that will make the leveling experience a lot different. So apparently it seems like Blizzard allow us to level up quicker in between level 1 to 80 in the pre-patch, with smoother and accelerated leveling. For example, being able to share the same kind of objects, so you will no longer need to kill many creatures if you're in a group. No, both of you will get the reward. Leveling in dungeons will also be a lot easier. All the quests can now be picked up in the dungeon, so you don't have to go to the open world or complete different pre-quests to pick these up. It's gonna save you a ton of time, and all the different dungeons will now also have dungeon maps so you can easily navigate around. On top of this, there's also going to be a level change to many of the dungeons, for example Skullman's now being doable at level 40. To level up quicker you should purchase heirloom items, but these are going to be a lot more difficult to obtain in the pre-patch, simply because they will no longer cost emblems but a new currency, justice points. So I would highly recommend you to purchase these before the pre-patch. In Wrath of the Lich King, you can get most of these items for 40 emblems up to around 65 emblems. What we also gotta remember is that it's going to be important to keep all your justice points for Cataclysm. When you reach level 85 you can use this currency to purchase amazing items. In the pre-patch, all your emblems of Triumph and Frost will also be converted into justice points, so you could start preparing these in Wrath of the Lich King, and then on your old characters you could be purchasing the different heirloom items. When I leveled up a character at low level, I also noticed there was a big change to the dungeons itself. There were new mechanics and even new creatures as well. The level of the many rares in the open world has also changed, and therefore also loot you can obtain. On top of this, you are now rewarded with a lot of experience when you kill a rare enemy, so these you should be hunting for when you're leveling up your character. Because there are so many zone changes, then what they've done is also to implement a lot of new flight masters, so it's going to be a lot easier for you to travel around in Azeroth. However, in Outland and in Wrath of the Lich King it's still the exact same. Nonetheless, it's gonna be a lot easier for you to travel around at level 60, where you can learn Flight Master license. This allows you to fly around in Eastern Kingdoms, but also in Kalimdor. What's also quite amazing is that we can learn Master Riding. This allows you to transform any of your riding mounts into 310% flying speed. The honor cap will also change. In Wrath of the Lich King it was 75,000, in Cataclysm it's going to be 4,000. And it seems like we can use our honor points to purchase Wrathful Gladiator gear. It is of course going to be expensive to purchase some of these pieces, but then again, the moment you reach level 80, you could start farming honor and get some amazing gear you can use for when you're going to level up in Cataclysm. Or you could keep your honor for when you reach level 85 and that way instantly purchase some of the new PvP gear. The two main cities, Stormwind City and Orgrimmar, will change. Stormwind City has been attacked by Deathwing, and therefore there's also going to be an area that has been relocated at another location in the city. The size of Orgrimmar is increasing. There's even a second floor, or well, an area here where there will be a Zeppelin tower so you can fly away from the city. Getting reputation with the different main cities is now also gonna be a lot easier. Instead of handing in runecloth to gain reputation, you simply just purchase a tabard and then you head into dungeons. So as you're leveling up, you will be gaining reputation for these cities, so you can also purchase the faction specific mounts. Customizing your walking and human form is going to be a lot easier in Cataclysm Classic, because they won't affect each other. So when you change your skin color as human form, it will not change the color of your walking form, or maybe even your hairstyle. So this is going to be a nice change. What I'm also looking forward to is being able to transmog our items. Maybe you got yourself a new helm and you don't like the appearance. Well, then you could use another helm to change the appearance, but still keep the same stats. You just gotta be aware that if you purchase yourself a bind on equip item on the auction house and you transmog this, then it will now also be bound to your account. In Wrath of the Lich King, a paladin uses a libram, a druid, a idol, a shaman, a totem, but this is going to change in the pre-patch. What will happen instead is that all of these will now be turned into a relic, and it can be used by all the classes, so you don't have to go for a specific one as a druid. This will of course also result in there being way more competition for these, as it will now be shared by all the different classes. As a hunter, you no longer have any mana, instead you will be using energy, but what's also quite nice is that you can run and shoot at the exact same time. You no longer need to stand still to do your auto shot. Some quests will also be a lot easier to do, as you can hand them in instantly without even going back to the quest giver, so here I can just complete the quest and even pick up the follow-up. And like it wasn't enough, if you don't know where to go, then in the different main cities there will now also be a questing board that will tell you where you need to head in order to continue your journey. For those of you that like to farm gold with gather professions, now you can multi-track. In other words, you can track herbs and minerals at the exact same time without having to swap between these. This is gonna make the leveling up a lot easier. And talking about leveling up, in the pre-patch we should also start gaining experience when we do gather professions. So this will be a great way to get some additional experience as you're questing and trying out the new class combinations and other things. Another thing to look forward to is the updated graphics. The water will be looking a lot better, you can look further, and all the different objects just has better quality compared to how it is in Wrath of the Lich King. And talking about the water, when you're underneath you don't have to pay attention to your breath bar all the time, because this will last a lot longer. So questing in the water is gonna be a lot better. When the pre-patch goes live, there's also gonna be titles and mounts you can no longer obtain, for example the Undying and the Immortal. These things you should prepare in Wrath of the Lich King, so you have those for when the pre-patch goes live. I'll have a complete guide with many different things you should prepare, and this you can find in the description below this video. If you would like to see more Cataclysm guides and preparation videos, then I would highly recommend you to subscribe to the channel so you get notified the next time I post a video. As always, thank you so much for supporting the channel by watching this video, and have an amazing day. Peace!